I'm John Nesbitt from Atlas World. In this video, we talk about Atlas World and how we protect, connect, sustain and maintain your business.
Welcome to ProfileTree TV, and today we're joined by John Nesbitt from Atlas World. So John, thank you for coming in and talking to us today.
Thank you.
A lot of people obviously would know the name and the company Atlas World in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
But for the few that don't know what you do, would you mind telling us a little bit about what
Right.
services you offer?
Atlas, well, we would probably call ourselves an electronic servicing company because we do so many different things. There's one common thing that runs through the company, which is electronics and technical ability and technology. The things that we do is fire and security systems, so fire alarms, suppression systems, intruder alarm systems, CCTV. We also do door access systems. Your simple door entry systems, press a button, somebody answers the phone and you let them in, to sophisticated systems where you use your pass to swipe in through the door and it'll give you all your information about that person. So we do security systems, suppression systems, CCTV systems. We also do assistive technology. And that started about year 2000. We were involved in a smart technology system as they called it, way back in 2000. And it was before there was anything like smart technology as we see today. But we did that for a housing association, and it was in Clifton House. So we do smart assistive technology. So nowadays the systems we do would help disabled people, dementia, handicapped, that type of where they need to help to switch their lights on, close their curtains, open the front door, open their doors, and also protects them from, if they've got dementia, it turns off their electricity, turns off their cooker, turns off their water if they forget to turn the top off. So assistive technologies as well as audiovisual systems, so PA, AV, and in about 2010 we went into energy systems where we monitor utilities for big sites, primarily on the hospital sites, so the Royal Victoria Hospital, Belfast City Hospital, and then that rolled out to other sites, the Altnagelvin, and the Northern Trust, Causeway Hospital. So we do that. We also supply renewable energy systems, PV. So we do a whole gamut of systems, but it all is electronics somewhere involved. Yeah. So we would say electronic servicing and installation, but it goes from energy to fire and security to assistive technology to gas suppression systems in large machineries and large rooms, data centres and things. So we do a lot of stuff, and but we've got different areas that control those areas and install them and service them. So
incredible.
So that's what we do.
What a wide range of services and offer. That's amazing. And you mentioned, you gave us an example, and you referred to the year 2000. So again, looking at that, the company, you've been established for a long time. You've seen a lot of changes then.
Yeah, our company, we started, I actually started the company in 1985. So you probably weren't even born then.
I wish. What's it there? Year 2000 then, that's when.
So in 1985 I started I was an electrician, and I got a job in Atlas Communications at the time. And that evolved through the years. At different times the company had been bought over by one point Aircom from Southern Ireland.
Wow.
And that was when we established the fire and security division, and it then reverted back to Atlas Communications when Aircom left Northern Ireland, and there was a management buyout with myself and two other colleagues in the company, and we established Atlas Fire and Security in, it was January 2006.
Incredible.
Sorry, 2007.
Very good.
We thought about in 2006 was when we started to organise the buying out of the company, and it was 2007 when we actually started, and that's 11 years.
Incredible.
So we're coming in their 12th year now.
It's brilliant. It's
So
amazing.
So it's been, I've been in the company for a long, long time, but some of the guys who work for us have been there over 20 years, as long as me. You know, I'm there 30 odd years. There's one other guys there coming up to 30, and the other ones are around 20 years, and there's a lot of people on 10 years in the company.
Incredible, which is really unusual now when you think of company profiles. People tend to come and go after a couple of years, so it's amazing to see that so many people are there so long.
Yeah.
And you've got a healthy number of people employed as well.
Yes, we started in 2007 when we started. We started with 17 employees because we just bought out the fire and security section of Atlas Communications. But now we have 70 employees. So year on year we've grown, even through the bad times.
Yeah.
It's been up and down. You know, one year you're making profit, the next year you're down. About 3 years ago we started to really profit on profit each year. This year it's touch and go, but we're still there. I would say 2 years ago we went through a spurt of bringing on extra engineers because we had bigger contracts, and that really hit us in our pocket with the investment. But it's beginning. We've came through it, and it's beginning to show now. Hopefully, the next year, the money we did invest will help us grow and grow.
That's it, and it's very interesting that you see that as an investment.
Yes.
And it's the same as ourselves. We're investing our people for our future services, and we're training them and getting them used to our standards. Same as yourself, and ready for the next year's explosion in sales are going to come that we all know. But
hopefully,
well, no, we know it. We know it. It'll be it'll only get bigger, I'm sure. And you've going from 17 people to where you are now. That's amazing. A journey in cycles. Is it very different running the company today than when it was running 17 people?
It is. I mean, whenever we were 17, I was doing. Each of the directors you had a number of different jobs to do. I was doing quality, I was doing sales, and I was doing operations. Now I'm really just dealing with. I look after the hospitals. The hospital trust would be my area where I would look after, but it's mostly going and dealing with larger projects. We've got our own quality manager now. We've got an operations manager, so we've grown, but we've set our company up so that if one person falls, the whole company doesn't fall.
Exactly.
You know, the old saying in Atlas is, if you get run over by a bus, who's going to pick up the gun and keep going?
Yeah.
So that's the ethos in Atlas. You always have to have a plan B.
Very good, very good. And is it easier or just very different to run the company today than 17? Very different.
It's very different. It's probably a bit easier because you're not dealing with all the things you had to deal with. And I'm not doing as many hours as I did then at the start. You know,
it's like us all.
Yeah, you have to do 2 or 3 o'clock in the mornings, pricing up jobs, and now I don't have to do that. I have to be honest. But it's because we've invested in the company, and we've all got training. We've based our company on there's a training scheme that we've all adhered to. It's a program called Excellus. So, and there was a guy called Mervyn Nelson who I was introduced to 10 years ago, and it's a Queen's University type of project, and I went to the Excellus training, and it basically taught you how to have leadership skills and also bringing in your plan Bs into the company.
Incredible. So
we have used that program for the rest of the company. So we'll have our directors, the board of directors, and then we have a senior management team below that, and then we have different silos for different areas of the company, and we have team leaders then looking after those areas, and then they have their deputies below that. So that's the ethos throughout the company.
And again, so you're talking about the investment in training, so all I hear is investment was brilliant. Lessons for me as well, or anyone of us who are trying to grow our companies to something like your size. But so it's investment in training and procedures and documentation, and that's what has helped you grow then?
Yes.
incredible. So
Yeah.
I noted for myself then. So we've a wee bit of work to do. But then it's very interesting to hear, and also that it can get easier. So again, I'm sure a lot of people watching this have their own business, maybe on their own, or have a few employees.
Yes.
And as you say, you do have to put in the hours. It's
You need to put the hours in at the start, but you don't want to. If you're always doing that, there's something not right. You need to be able to grow the company, grow your company, and also have trust in people below you. And the old saying is, never bring in anyone who's not as good as you. Always make sure you bring people in that are better than you.
Yes. So
And they will then assist your company and grow it for you, and you can just hopefully direct as a director.
amazing. So really good, solid advice. So thank you for someone who's actually doing it and done it. So really good. So does your company focus on serving Belfast or Greater Belfast or all of Northern Ireland or beyond?
We started off around Belfast and Ireland. Years ago we would have worked in Dublin, but we're trying to now promote in England as well. We have office in London and an office in Dublin. They're virtual offices, but we've got a presence there, and we do a lot of. We've done more work in England than we have in Southern Ireland. We always do. There's always work going on, bread and butter work down there, but we've done larger projects in England. But we want to be able to work right across the UK and Ireland. And at this moment in time, probably Ireland's where we really want to go, but we don't know what's happening with Brexit.
Don't know. And Ireland's on fire at the moment, isn't it? So we're all looking down at green eyes, and I wish we'd have a little bit of that up here, but no, it's incredible, and the brave stepped in going for England as well, the UK, so the mainland, but no, excellent. So you've mentioned a few of the companies you work with. They sound very big organisations actually, so you wouldn't mind giving us a few examples of who you do work with?
The biggest customers would be the bread and butter customers would be the Belfast Trust. We do all their fire alarm systems. And we also do their monitoring of their energy, so we look after all their utility bills. We monitor their gas, their electric, their hot water, their water that they generate. The Belfast Trust actually have bore wells on their sites, and they pump out water from under the ground, and we monitor that as well. So that's one of our big sites. But we also look after other trusts as well on their energy side. On the another big customer will be housing associations, the likes of Choice Housing, Radius, some of the well-known names that there is in Northern Ireland. And then we also work with actual contractors. The Dowdge Group would be one to come to mind. But we've in the past we've worked with all. I don't want to get say it's always just Dowdge. We'll work with
for a while. Everyone.
WKK is a smaller company. Just trying to think of names, but
that's brilliant.
There's a lot of companies we work with.
Major organisations.
Yeah.
It's incredible in the job you do. You're looking after, probably saving them a lot of money and trying to be very energy efficient.
Yeah.
And then secure as well. So all the above. So no, very good, and having that stable of clients obviously shows the reputation you have in the market, so it's good to see. So obviously you're focused on working with energy, and globally there's a real push towards sustainability. So is there anything that Atlas are working on or focused on in this sector?
Well, we recently sponsored an award in the Sustainable Ireland Awards, and it was for the best use of renewable energy, and that was won by Dale Farm for They have a PV array, solar panels array powering some of their plants. So they say we sponsored that because that's something that we do with our solar panels and again energy monitoring. So that's what we're in at the minute. But we can supply different types of renewable energy systems. But we're also at the moment developing our own energy system, our own energy monitoring system. And we're working with local people here in Northern Ireland to produce that, and they're producing boards for the hardware, and also they're working with us on the software. So we want to do our own system that it's going to be, bespoke for our own use, and we're not having to use companies from England or further afield. We're developing our own piece of kit.
incredible. So you're really investing for the future as well. So not only safeguarding today, but you're thinking that's incredible. So it's really interesting to see how the company is growing and it's moving forward. Is there challenges then in the industry as a whole? Do you see any challenges around?
Yeah, there is, because it's very hard to sell. People all use energy all the time, but they don't seem to get it yet. They don't seem to get that they need to save energy, and they need these systems to tell them what they're using so that they can save. They try to do the quick fix, changing light bulbs or trying to use timers to turn things off, but they still not measuring what they've got. So that really, it all should start with measuring something, trying then to reduce the energy and seeing the difference and seeing what you've saved. But people don't really see that. Some people do who have who are forward thinking. They can see that I have to measure it first to see what I've saved. But there's other people who don't really see it, and trying to get it across with even people that hoteliers and things like that. It's hard to really get them to grasp it. Now you'll be able to talk to some of the big organisations, the likes of the Belfast Trust. There's people there that they know that they have to save energy and they understand it, and they understand water. But again, in Northern Ireland, because we don't pay for our water, people don't really care about how much water they use. But I think it'll change whenever the government comes back and start charging us for water. People will go, we better save water here.
Yeah.
They'll think about that. Energy, all round, is a hard sell, and you just need to be talking to the right person.
Incredible. So it's, we're spoiled a wee bit sometimes here.
Yeah.
In some ways. And you talked about energy, and then you were talking as well about security and CCTV. So are people investing more in security and CCTV?
Well, yeah. I mean, fire alarm systems. There's rules and regulations for fire alarms. CCTV intruder alarms, not as much, unless it's insurance companies tell you to do it. Then you'll do it. But more people, because of the world we live in, people do think about CCTV and intruder alarms, because if something happens to them, it's a more tangible effect. If somebody gets robbed or somebody breaks into their house, people see what's happened and then they'll action. A lot of people will wait until after something's happened before they do it. But it's people are more clued on to intruder alarms and CCTV systems, and I think the CCTV now has become it's a day-to-day thing. There's cameras everywhere, and some people don't like them, and other people see it as it's for safety, and you need to have it. And if there's something happens, you can always go back and look into your system and see who was there, when they were there, what time they were there.
Yeah.
So
incredible.
it's an easier sell than energy systems and renewable energy systems.
Because people realise the risk and they see it every day and understand.
Yeah.
And then, as you say, regulations as well. But I think I'd agree with you around the CCTV. You see cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Even you think of people driving now. How many people have got a little camera in their car? So we are getting used to them, without a doubt. And I can't even remember what I did yesterday, so I need to go back and look at a CCTV.
All these and everybody now has their mobile phones, so everyone is a photographer these days. You can say that they're obtrusive, and get people shouldn't be filming things, but that's when it's used the wrong way. But if it's there for health and safety, and it's there to stop people breaking into buildings, it's a good thing. Totally. And if you've not done anything wrong, what have you got to hide? I always think,
No, I totally agree. I'd love to see, and it reminds me, so I'm not, so I'm not an 80s kid now. The old sat navs, you used to have to, you'd buy them and plug them into the cars. Yeah. But I remember those systems, and then now they're in the cars installed, and away you go, and the phones as well. But I'm wondering, will the little cameras come the same way? Will they be? We plugged them in now, but in the future, will they be in the cars and record as we drive?
I think you're right, because you have cameras in your car anyway for reversing and so things like, you're right. They probably will have a dash cam built in, for insurance reasons.
Yeah, we'll see.
See how it goes. It is good if someone does reverse into you and then say, no, you hit me. Yeah, then you've got the evidence there to back it up.
Plenty there. That's amazing. So have you seen in all the years that you've been in business now that price is going up, price going down, or is technology and what we can do with technology vastly improving?
I mean, prices have went down a lot, and especially on the CCTV systems. I mean, years ago, talking 2000, 1999, 2000, we were part of Eircom at that time, and Eircom was rolling out their new telephone exchanges around Northern Ireland, where we were putting in the state-of-the-art CCTV systems that they could monitor through telephone lines. And there was a CCTV hard drive for recording it, and it was 80 gigabyte hard. That was the biggest one you could get, 80 gigabyte. But your new Apple iPhone has probably got 256 gigabyte in, and that was the biggest one you could get, and it was about 1,500 quid.
Wow. Okay.
You know,
Just
now,
that, yeah.
nowadays they're 1 terabyte,
and they're small as
it's
well.
300 quid, something like that. You know, it's the technology has changed so much, and even the way that we live today, and when it comes to that type of thing, you know, I mean, I remember when we were part of Eircom, they were saying, we were at a seminar, and they were saying that, you know, in the future, your telephone line will bring everything to you. You'll plug it in the back of your TV, and you'll see videos, and you'll see all this content, and there'll be films and movies. And we were actually saying, no, this is not going to happen. No way, you couldn't do that down your telephone line. And now it's here, and that's only 18 years, 20 years.
Incredible.
So what's the next 20 years going to bring?
Who knows?
You don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just going to, I think it'll just ramp up even further. That things are definitely, the prices are going down, and all that type of, that technology.
Amazing. So obviously it makes it more cost effective for companies to install, but then I guess we need to keep up as well and enhance our
You need to keep
equipment.
up with the next best thing, and it does technology just change that much.
But can save in the bottom line, I guess, as well. That's the most important thing. I remember when you're sharing your story, I remember reading an article about a company bringing out a phone, a mobile phone that would only have one button. And I was like, never work, what? One button, well, how are you going to use it? And I think it was a year and a half later, we had the iPhone. So that was it. So you just never know. It's just incredible.
It's so easy now. Everyone can use mobile phones. You know, people are giving their mobile phone to their kids now, and in the pram, and the kids can watch cartoons on them.
To entertain them.
You know, so
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Any young people watching this would just not understand why we're just in awe over all of this, but we're pre iPhones and everything else, but what to do. So what opportunities would there be in Northern Ireland for those interested in entering the telecoms or the technology industry?
What
Is there many opportunities in
Opportunities,
Northern Ireland to come into
well,
the industry?
there's a lot of companies there's a lot of companies that do the stuff that Atlas do. You know, there is a lot of companies, but it's all about probably bringing innovation to the customer, and also thinking other things, bringing other things to the table that you do different. And that's why we have brought in the energy side, so that when we can go to a customer, we can sell other things and not just fire alarms. And when engineers trained up and working on electronic systems, they can usually turn their hand to different things, and you can open your offering. So you would need to think of how can you be different. There'll always be work for companies doing fire alarms and intruder alarms because of legislation. But it's trying to be better than everybody else, and it's also being able to give price, quality, reliability, and a good service. That is the hard thing.
Excellent. So investment in training, innovation, and keep abreast of technology. That's the advice, and it does get easier. You're telling me I'll come back to you in 3 or 4 years.
I'll be retired.
That's a very good note. So what does the future then hold for Atlas World?
Well, we've got our new product that we're bringing out on our energy side, so we want to really promote that. No matter what happens with Brexit, we want to promote ourselves in Southern Ireland more than we are. Hopefully open an office, a full office in the Republic. And we think that that's the area we would want to grow more than growing in England, because we don't have to get on an airplane to go there. We can drive, and you know, and that's where we would like to go first. We want to promote ourselves in England as well, and we want to try to, get into more of renewable energy systems. And as the future pushes on, and all the new rules and regulations coming out about energy efficiencies, we would hope that everyone's going to have that in the forefront, and they're going to start thinking about what we should be doing with our energy, and also renewable energy systems as well. RHI has given it a bad name, with the incentives that the government did give, but with PV there was an incentive there, but they took it away. But they're going to have to do something in the future. So that will be one area on that side. We also have got a product that we use for fire suppression that's been very, very good, and we've promoted it well in Northern Ireland with recycling companies, and again, with recycling, there's going to be more machinery required for recycling. The equipment that we supply puts fires out inside these machines. We've only started it up there maybe a year and a half ago, and we're now becoming well known in that field. So we want to promote that in Southern Ireland as well. So on the fire suppression side, the fire alarm side, that will be a product there. On the energy monitoring systems, we have our product there, and we just want to keep on growing with contracts to cover the whole of Ireland, or we'd like to see an office. We've got our office in Belfast. Like to see an office somewhere in Southern Ireland, and try to cover the whole of Ireland, no matter what happens with the Brexit.
Of course, amazing. And obviously they grew from 70 staff to 100 staff and more.
Yes. Well, we hope we'll have our 5-year plan that we want to go for, and £12 million a year, 100 staff. That's where we want to be.
So
but it says a few more years to do that, but more hard work.
For sure.
But we've got the right people in place to help us.
Amazing, excellent. Well, thank you for coming in and sharing what Atlas World does. Very, very interesting and incredible journey as well. And I'm looking forward to watching from the sidelines as you guys grow and grow and grow. And I know we've a few southern companies and business owners in the south in Dublin, especially that watch our videos. So if someone wanted to reach out and find out more about Atlas World, or reach out and talk to one of your team about services, what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, we have a website which is Atlas World, .co.uk. But I mean, they'll find us, on the web. Brilliant. And if they come to talk to myself, John Nesbitt, or we have Debbie Carlin, our marketing manager.
Excellent. And
she's very good at pulling all these things together and getting us out there on social media.
Brilliant.
So she would be the person to talk to as well.
Excellent.
Or any other director in the company.
Brilliant, excellent. And all the links for the website and everything are underneath this video as well. Right. So thank you again for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's brilliant, much appreciated. And thank you for watching today. We had a very interesting interview, and this is Kieran from ProfileTree. Make sure to watch us tomorrow where we release another video from another business leader here in Belfast. Thank you.